Morning, guys, and welcome back to the Kieran Club and Racing Show. We'll be covering Saturday's racing at both Cheltenham, and then I've got 3 races also to cover at Doncaster, which is live on ITV. But we go through the full card for Cheltenham. Hopefully, we've had a few winners from today's racing going into tomorrow's. Hopefully, we can have a decent day today. We start with the 12:10 at Cheltenham, the juvenile hurdle over 2 miles, where One Horse Town is favourite here for Harry Derham. 4 races, 4 wins, 2-1, one at the track in November in good style on heavy ground. I think he's going to be very difficult to beat, to be honest. 2-1 is probably about a fair price. Will I be getting involved in the race? Probably not. Probably just watch the race. The interesting one, obviously, is the second favourite coming down from the north, from the Adam Nichols stable, the Manila Study, who was 2 from 2, winning a listed event at Webby last time. I like to think that One Horse Town is going to get the job done, though, for Harry Derham, and looks potentially could be a triumph horse down the line, but I won't be getting involved in the race. I'll just be watching and seeing what goes on and go from there. But it'd be good to see Harry Derham have a decent juvenile on his hands. We then move on to the 12:40, the novice handicap chase over 3 miles, where the Jukebox Kid is favourite for Ben Paulin following his win at Carlisle, first time up this season over fences. He's 2-1 favourite, and I think, like the first race, I know he's favourite, but he's going to be fairly difficult to beat. He looked very good jumping those fences last time out. The horse that's second in here was third that day, First Confession. He's got 10 lengths to find. I just think the Jukebox Kid will improve the fences. But no uncertain terms that Ben Paulin's chases are going really, really well this season. And the Jukebox Kid could be another one on the radar to go and win this and potentially turn in potentially an ultimate horse maybe. But I'd like to see him go and win this well first. But that would be my selection if I was going to have a bet in the race. We then move on to the 1:15, the mare's handicap chase over 2 miles 4 furlongs, and the one we dream of is favourite in here for the Skeltons after winning at Exeter last time. 11-2 for the favourites, a very wide open handicap. I was going to take a swing on one here at 11-1, and that's Gravel of Fergal O'Brien's second on chase debut at Huntington. One behind Pick Rock, which isn't too bad a form. Pick Rock's a decent animal, to be fair, and has been unlucky not to have won before that race at Huntington. But going back to Gravel, he won on her a Class 2 listed event, Class 2 event at Cheltenham in April over hurdles. This is only Class 3, so technically he's dropping in class even though he's going over fences. I think at 11-1, he could be a decent each-way play in this race. The owners like a bit of a punt, so if there's money for this horse, then definitely keep note on that. But 11-1 looks a decent each-way play. We then move on to the 1:50, the big race of the day and the big race of the meeting, the December Gold Cup. Over 2 miles 4 furlongs. Of course, it's over 2 miles 4 furlongs. All the big races at this time of year at Cheltenham are 2 mile 4 over fences. And Jaguar, who didn't run in the Paddy Park due to a setback, comes here to make his seasonal debut for Greenall and Guerrero. Obviously won the plate at the festival in really good style. And 7-2, is he worth taking a bet? He should, if they think he's going to be a graded animal, he should be winning this and winning this in good style. But I'd be willing to take him on. I think that first time out, you potentially get him beat. And the one I'm going to take him on with is Holy Jolly Smoke of the Skelton stable, who was third in the Paddy Power behind stablemate Panic Attack. Was coming there travelling really well under Keelan Woods when making a mistake 2 out. Was then short of room coming to the last and stayed on really well up the hill to finish third in the race. Now Harry takes over, so now he's number 1. The first string of the stable at 5-1. I think he's an each way play to nothing. If you want to have a player each way, or if you muggy each way, or you want to just back it to win, I think he's really well handicapped, and the Skeltons are going to want to win as many of these big races as possible. I think Holy Joe Smoke will go close in this race for them. We then move on to the 2:25, the handicap chase And David's Well is favourite here for Chris Gordon after a very impressive win up at Haydock last time. 11-4 favourite, couldn't put anybody off when I back him. He won that in really good style going away from the last. But there's another one in here I think is really a handicap plot, and this is probably going to be one of my best bets of the weekend. And it's Country Mile of Dan Skelton's. Was third at the October meeting in the novice chase behind Amelin, I think it was, of Ollie Murphy's. Was coming there to make a challenge, made a right Horlicks of the second last, completely took the fence with him, and then just came home in his own time to finish third. Makes his handicap debut. He needs to jump better. I think he didn't jump 3 or 4 fences well. Needs to jump better, but handicap debut. He won on this card last year. Well, he won on the Friday in the novice hurdle, where he won absolutely scooted up to beat Wingman in the novice hurdle. I think he will be primed for this handicap debut. The pot's worth 26 grand to the winner. Like I said, the Skeltons will be wanting to win as much prize money as possible towards the trainer's title. And I think this is the one where he pulled the trigger with this horse on his handicap debut. So it'd be Country Mile for me. We then move on to the 3 o'clock. The Bristol Novices Hurdle over 3 miles, where Coleman John for Lucinda Russell is favourite. Won really well here in October after just scrambling home at Kelso. The second in that race of Cheltenham, Great Fleet's come out and won since, but that was over 2 miles. So make of that form what you will. I just think 11-8. If he goes and wins this, fair enough, but I'll be willing to not part any money at 11-8. Again, I'm going down the Dan Skelton route, and Carla Rigg here is at 9-1 for the Skeltons. They was talking about this. They talked to Harry before racing at Chepstow when this horse made his debut for the stable, and they said he would improve for the run and improve for a trip. Now he ran over 2 miles 3 at Chepstow and was finished second, and he was doing all his best work at the end. They now step him up in grade up to 3 miles, and I think the handbrake will definitely be off, and he will be definitely worth a look here. He's just point-to-point winner. He'd like to think he's going to stay 3 miles, no problem whatsoever. I think 9-1 is far too big. I'll be willing to take a chance on him in the 3 o'clock. I won't put anybody off back in Coleman John at 11-8. Put him in your roll-ups, etc. Looks a very decent prospect for Lucinda Russell, but I just think the price on the Skelton horse is far too big. I think there'll be plenty of improvement up at 3 miles. And then we touch on the 3:35, the last race at Cheltenham, the Mares Handicap Hurdle over 2 mile 4, where Jubilee Alpha is favourite at 5-2 for the Nichols stable. Won here in a listed event here in April before, and then finished second, giving weight away to a lot of horses, or to all horses at Wincanton on seasonal reappearance. Has to do the same thing again here. Has to carry top weight, 12 stone, give a lot of weight away, and I'm willing to take her on at that level. The one I'm going to put up is Lagoon Nebula, of Andrew Kinrons. Now, an unknown stable even to me. I can't even pronounce the name properly, so apologies for that. But he won a Grade 3 here in April, and he's been on the flat since. He hasn't even jumped the hurdle since then. He's been running on the flat in Ireland and on the all-weather at Newcastle. And I just think she's way overpriced here at 9-10-1. Coming back to Cheltenham, obviously won here in April. I'd be willing to take a chance on her in a race like this. I don't think Jubilee Alpha will be able to give the weight away to some of these. I really don't. And the Paul Nichols stable isn't exactly in the greatest of form. We then go over to Doncaster. 3 more races to cover over at Doncaster. The first being the 2:05, the 3 mile handicap chase, where Doc Pick Me is favourite at 9-4 after the Hobson stable. Course and distance winner is third at Newcastle last time out. But the one I like here again, we're going down the same route as we've done all of this episode, it seems. It's another Skelton horse. It's Prince Zarter, making his chase debut for the stable. He was obviously originally with Philip Rothwell, came over here in the summer. He's finished second last time out at Cheltenham in the handicap hurdle. Now goes chasing for the first time for the Skeltons, and I just think they plotted this right out. He's got 10 stone 8 with Tristan Darrell on board. And then they've also got the top weight in Joya Marchand with Harry Atkins taking 7 off. I just think Joya Marchand's in here just purely and simply to get the weights down. For Prince Zarta, who ran really well at Cheltenham last time out, only beaten by a decent handicap plot of, I believe it was Hobbs' stable. I can't remember the name of the horse now off the top of my head. I just think at 4-1 he is a decent play in this race for sure. And I'd be very surprised if he doesn't go off favourite. And then the 240, the Mares Hurdle. Katira is favourite again for the Skeltons. There's no reason to see why she couldn't win this. Back up at 3 miles. Won at Weatherby really nicely. First time up, beating Golden Ace. Obviously, Golden Ace has gone on and won the fight in 5th. That was over 2 miles. They've then stepped up to 2.5 miles when finishing 4th at Ascot behind Wadu and Celtic Dino and Potter's Charm. No mince feet there. Now drops back into Mare's company. 3 miles. And at 4-6, I wouldn't be backing it myself, but I think she'll win. And if you want to put her in a multiples, carry on. But it looks like it's going to be another one for the Skeltons. And at 3:17, the handicap hurdle, the final race that we're going to touch on, where Bowmore is favourite for Charlie Longston. Winner at Newbury last time, 5-2 favourite. There's a handicap debutant in here I quite like, is Amakillo of Faye Bramley's. Won really well up at Sedgefield last time, pulling away after the last. Really, really impressive. And mixed handicap debut here, and I think the bigger field, bury him away, come late, I think he's got a great chance of winning this race. So best bets, just the 2 for this, and they both come at Cheltenham in the handicap chases. First in the December Gold Cup, Holy Joe Smoke, it's 5-1. Play either way you want. I'll decide tomorrow morning which way I'm going to play. With 5-1, you can either play Muggy each way or go straight on the win. And then Country Mile is the second selection. I just think handicap debut, they're going to want to pull the trigger here and pick up some decent prize money. So they will be the 2 best selections for this video. Thanks for listening, guys. I hope we have plenty of winners along the way and the good month continues. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and happy punting to you all.